Good morning. My name is Mark Chase. My pronouns are he, him, and his. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected us all in different ways. For many of us adults, a few months ago, it was common practice to wake up to the jarring sound of an alarm clock, hit the snooze button, and mutter under our breath, "Ugh, do I have to go to work today? Can't I just stay home?" To all of you, I say, congratulations, you got your wish. Today, I imagine most of us would relish the opportunity to return to a normal series of events. Being able to go to a coffee shop or a shopping mall, a restaurant, coming to church, hugging someone without any fear or any urge to recoil, not racing to wash our hands each time we return home. Yet there are some of us who cannot remain at home, whose jobs require us to go to work. Some of us are 911 dispatchers, answering calls from the public and sending help. Some of us are police officers, responding out to calls of fights, robberies, traffic accidents, and other crimes. Some of us are firefighters, paramedics, emergency medical technicians, responding to people in need of medical attention or who need rescuing when their home is on fire. Medical personnel, doctors, nurses, respiratory technicians, kitchen workers, maintenance and custodial staff must report to work in hospitals and medical clinics, places many of us are desperately trying to avoid as they care for the sick and injured. In my line of work at a local police department, our inappropriate sense of humor often guides us through these strange times. As local and county directives on social distancing change every 3 or 4 days, more and more yellow signs appear on the entrance doors to the police department. For some reason, no one takes down the old signs. As I reported to work this week, I counted at least 12 signs on the 2 entrance doors. I don't care how bored you are, my friends. No one is reading 12 signs that contradict one another. The smell of disinfectant and cleaning fluid is thick in the air. Twice a week, a man with a fogging disinfectant machine roams the hallways, the locker rooms, and our workspaces, spraying everything in sight. It's like a bad scene from the HBO series Chernobyl. We're all told to stay 6 feet away from each other, and work meetings must be held outdoors and standing up. The 911 dispatch center is under lockdown. If any one dispatch personnel tests positive for COVID-19, she or he could force 3 to 4 other employees on the same shift into a 2-week quarantine. This would endanger the department's ability to take 911 calls. We would wear masks, but it muffles our voices and prevents us from being heard on the radio or the phone. Everyone is on edge. Police officers have been directed to take no undue risks. In several cities close to us, both police officers and firefighters have tested positive for COVID-19. In our town, we have had officers performing CPR on deceased elderly people who may or may not have died from COVID-19 complications. With each call that first responders are going to, there's an elevated sense of fear. Some sick patients are not answering the dispatcher's questions truthfully because they fear that help will not be sent if they admit to having symptoms that indicate COVID-19. Let me assure you this is not the case. If a dispatcher is asking you these questions, it's merely to provide direction for officers and firefighters to don protective gear before entering a home or business. So please be truthful, but call for help if you need it. Our area hospitals have plenty of space currently to treat sick people. Do not wait until it's too late. There's a constant apprehension amongst us that we may be risking the lives of our family members, especially elderly relatives or immunocompromised loved ones. Some officers and firefighters are either quarantining themselves in spare bedrooms or in camping trailers on their property on days off to avoid potentially infecting someone in their home. And as I talked about, there's always the inappropriate sense of humor that helps us get through these things. There's constant jokes between all of us about the Rona, as it's been sarcastically nicknamed. How are you? I might ask a coworker. The response is inevitably, just trying to avoid the Rona. You can hear the strain and the fear in the voices of people calling. Remarkably, our emergency call volumes are greatly reduced. With most people quarantining, there's a marked decrease in thefts, financial crimes, traffic accidents. As a result, both police and medical emergency calls are down. Someone who might have called an ambulance a month ago for a minor medical issue is not calling right now. They're afraid to. Yet, issues of family arguments and domestic violence are on the rise. And at the same time, we're now answering a lot of non-emergency calls. Reports of people not maintaining social distance, kids playing tag in a closed park, or citizens wanting to debate the finer point of ordinances. In a single day last week, my department had over 30 complaints of gardeners and construction workers working. As everyone calls in, it's easy for me to see the bigger picture as I receive call after call of a similar nature. People are stressed, everyone is scared, and people are reacting to that stress by calling the police. The author Eckhart Tolle wrote, "Stress is caused by being here, but wanting to be there." I sense this in the people who are calling. The best I can do is reassure them that we will respond when we have someone available and that everything will be okay. Even in these trying times, my coworkers and I would not choose another profession. We love what we do. To be a first responder is a calling. Our families often unfairly bear the brunt of our long work shifts, our frequent absences from home, and our strange and inappropriate senses of humor formed by hearing and seeing traumatic things over long careers of many years. Yet each day there is something to be thankful for. There are many people struggling, and we as first responders are fortunate to have the jobs that we have. The explosion of wildflowers blooming this week was a sight to see. Vivid patches of orange, yellow, and purple dotting the roadsides as I drove to and from work. It was a reminder from the universe that beauty exists, no matter the circumstances. I'm also thankful to my friends, coworkers, and loved ones checking in on me, sending me silly texts or jokes, reminding me not to take things so seriously. It truly does make a world of difference. On his day off this week, my husband made homemade tamales from scratch. They were amazing. Today, in particular, I am thankful for our wonderful church community here at MDUUC that provides such sustenance in these arduous days. I'm thinking of all of you beautiful and special people watching today. Stay strong. In a spirit of unity and hope, I say, come, let us worship together.